In other words, if you have a piano player that is playing by themselves, they have to play a lot of the left hand to accompany themselves in terms of bass. If I have a very inexperienced keyboard player that is just slamming out octaves in the left hand, quite often I'll roll those out because that's really the bass player's job. A bass player will cover that a lot better than a piano player, you know, especially in an ensemble area here. And in the same way that you can get away with a slightly thin sounding acoustic guitar if a bass is underpinning that, that low end. So let's have a listen to them both together. Yeah, that bass, I love the sound of that bass. And then with the drums, so it's starting to sound good, huh? And look what we've done. No EQ for all of these. So just think about that. If you've brought up a bunch of loops that you've bought from some reputable firm, not just some guy making loops out of his garage. But if they're good enough to be sold commercially, probably they've done a lot of processing on them already. I don't think I have any compression on these because they've already been compressed. No EQ, but spend a little time on your instruments. If you have nicer sounding instruments, you probably don't need to EQ quite as much. This is a nice sounding acoustic guitar. I think I paid maybe $500 for this guitar. You don't have to have super expensive instruments, but the better the instruments are, the less you need to mess around with these EQ. And then so once you've got that set up exactly the way you want it, I also have an acoustic guitar too here. Let me see where that comes in. Whoops. To the song. Let's close this out. Here's acoustic guitar too, so I guess they come in right Now they're pretty much playing the same kind of parts, so I've got no problems just copying the EQ of this over to this. Now if this was a complementary part that was played a little further up in the neck and you just wanted to have a little bit more shine on it, then you can make those choices there. But on any particular mixer you're working on, you can't do this on an analog mixer. You would have to write these down and then copy them across here. But on most DAWs and digital mixers, there's a way to do that. And in Reason, you can go down here and copy channel settings. You can copy just a subset of all the various controls you have on there. So we would select the filters and EQ, copy it there, and then go over to the next one there, and then we'll paste that EQ. Go to the next one, the guitar end, and paste EQ right there. So now they all have that. I think this guitar end, let me peek down here. Yeah, so right here I just doubled just a fine strum right here. Because sometimes you just want to hit that last part of the song strong. So that's really what's going on there. Let's listen to all of these and together and see how it's sounding. So there's no effects on this yet. There's no reverb, there's no echo. It's I think just a little bit of compression on the bass, a little bit on the acoustics as well. So let's move on to the electric guitar.